So this is something I wrote a couple years ago, and if you don't know me, I do a lot of narratives. So here goes. Chào bà ngoại, how are you doing? How is Bảy and Yung Bảy and Jilon and her husband Anton? How are Jihan and Bé doing with their jobs? How's Gonam's health been? How's Yingjin's shop doing? You know all these things are easy to say. These are questions I could really ask them and not you. Rather, I should ask you questions about your own life. What was it like growing up under French colonial rule? How's your hometown Longsing changed over the years? What were your dreams as a child? How did you meet Nguyen? What was it like being married to him? And how were you able to raise over 10 beautiful children with Nguyen? Which all had great resilience under French, Japanese, and American occupation. These would all be amazing stories that I would love to hear from you if you were still around. It's been over 742 days since you passed. Well over the 100 days of mourning that one is supposed to grieve for a loved one that has passed on. But I feel it's important to reflect. There were only two instances that we met that I remember. The first was when I visited Longsing in 2002. You were a big woman when I came back with Mom to stay in Saigon in Yibei's house. I vaguely remember you cooked me a butter egg. I realized at that time it was your way of showing that you loved me. My second encounter with you was May of 2 years ago. With the second visit to my birth country, I encountered a frail, older woman unable to speak and to be tended to in bed by caring children and grandchildren. I agreed to you a few times during my stay, but I never spent more than a few moments in your room. Then came the day when you passed. I remember it vividly. I had just been dropped off by Julan to my Ba's family, my fraternal family. We were celebrating my early birthday when the phone rang. In the middle of the occasion, Julan said that you weren't waking up. We rushed home to Yibei's house and found the rest of the family surrounding your warm, lifeless body. Everybody was crying, but they also held back so much of their grief and started making preparations for you immediately. I was then asked to massage your legs. That was the first time that I touched you in all my memory. Your legs were still warm, and yet very stiff. I kept massaging your legs gently for fear of breaking anything on your body. When the funeral staff came, we stepped away only to pray. That night was the first time in a long time I prayed so much. Although I felt uncomfortable because I wasn't one to pray, but I knew in that moment that my family needs weren't important, or my own needs weren't important, but I needed to contribute to our family being comfortable. And for the next 3 days, we mourned and welcomed family and guests as customers to our Vietnamese Catholic tradition. As guests came, we would welcome them, feed them, and light incense with them. To me, these 3 days represented some of the happiest days of my life because it was the first time I felt part of a large, loving family unit. Our family spent those days tending to others and tending to each other. It was then during those deeds that I realized that being part of a family means being selfless for each other and means sharing our thoughts, our time, and our care. When it came to finally say goodbye to you, I wasn't sad, but I was happy. Happy that I was born in this family. Happy that I'm the second son born from your seventh child, that I'm the grandson of Isabel. Thank you for raising this family, Bangwai, and Kamang for raising me. I went back to Vietnam a couple years ago in 2016. It was the first time I went back in 14 years. And I bought a 2-week plane ride. I brought my mom, and ironically, my Bangwai, my maternal grandmother, passed away. So it was actually one of the most cultural shocking events of my life. And she passed away on my birthday celebration. So every time I think about my birthday, I think about my Bangwai. So I feel like this really great community Sunday Jump, and this is actually the first time I've performed this piece here. But Sunday Jump was actually one of the first places I performed actually as an adult. So I feel like this is my family, And by extension, I wanted to share this piece with you. So thank you all for listening.